How can you combine these words with these words? For my students, it's often a big mystery. I'm here to make things clear. I'm John, and today we're going to learn some phrasal verb secrets. To drone on. Learn to speak better with a professional teacher today. Your discount link is in the description. Alex lives in New Jersey. He's talking to his neighbor, Laura, about something mysterious.
Is it a bird? Is it a plane? A drone? Welcome to the New Jersey suburbs, where big mysterious flying machines appear over our heads at night. All we know is they weren't all there before.
What's in the sky? Marylanders are now joining people in other mid-Atlantic states reporting mysterious drones flying overhead.
More state officials are calling for action over recent drone sightings, despite U.S. officials insisting that many of these reports are simply airplanes.
Laura, did you see all of the news about these drones? Yeah, it's so crazy. No one knows what they are, not even the feds. There are a lot of crazy conspiracy theories out there. Some people think it's the military. Some are even blaming China. I don't know. Bob next door thinks it's aliens. He's always going on about conspiracy theories. He mentioned that to me too. He was droning on about how we're all in some crazy experiment and the aliens are just using us. I try not to listen. I tune him out every time. Quiz time! What does drone on about mean? Talk for a short time. Talk about something interesting. Talk in a boring, repetitive way. That's right, it's C. Drone on about means talk in a boring, repetitive way. What does go on about mean? Talk endlessly. Move to another topic. Support conspiracies. Go on about means talk endlessly. What does tune someone out mean? Stop paying attention. Show interest. Compliment. Tune someone out means stop paying attention. Explanation. Drones make a sound which is monotonous and doesn't stop. The word on is connected to time, often representing a continuation. If someone sounds boring or uninteresting while talking, they can sound like a drone. Your turn. Do you know anyone who drones on about something when you talk to them? Who is it? Write your examples in the comment section. Examples. These are verbs with similar meanings. Think of the word on as referring to time or continuation. Go on about. To talk endlessly about a specific subject. He went on about his vacation for hours. She always goes on about her favorite TV shows, even if nobody's interested. They went on and on about how amazing the concert was, and it became exhausting.
And it's something Apple wouldn't dream of doing. Apple has faults, by the way, but this is something Apple's very good at. I could go on about the beauty of saying no. Jobs would say that saying no was more important than saying yes. This extends to how Apple cooperates or engages with the rest of the world.
And so when I talk about beliefs, like I'm not talking about religion, sports, and politics, which are the three areas of belief that people go on about incessantly, although no one ever changes their belief, they just talk about it. But this is about beliefs, like, got a little pen too? Perfect.
Drone on about. To talk in a boring, repetitive way. The professor droned on about the same topic for the whole lecture. She droned on about her weekend plans until everyone tuned out. The meeting dragged on because the manager kept droning on about new rules.
My name is Michael Holsworth, as Philip said. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you guys in advance for giving me the opportunity to, for lack of better terms, drone on about drones for about a half hour here. Today I'll briefly be covering the Part 107 guidelines, the differences between hobby flying and 107 commercial flying, different policies, procedures, and my experience thus far in the industry.
So imagine all of you, or everyone watching live, or everyone in Harvard X, donning one of these headsets, and we're all standing together in front of the Sphinx and listening to someone like me drone on all about it, and we're all there in real time, able to look around in 360 degrees.
Drag on. To last longer than expected, often in a slow way. The meeting dragged on for hours, and we didn't accomplish much. His speech dragged on far longer than necessary. The movie was interesting at first, but it dragged on towards the end.
And however you feel about it is warranted and completely okay. But since the issue can drag on for years and years and really take a toll on our mental health, it's important that we find some ways to better cope with all we may be going through.
During the heyday, many coastal communities were based entirely around supporting this industry. The average length of a kidnap for ransom operation is 6 months, and some negotiations drag on for over a year. That's 6 whole months of just waiting, trying not to get caught.
Ramble on. To talk in a long and disorganized way. He rambled on about his childhood for hours. The speaker rambled on about the topic without any clear direction. She tends to ramble on about her favorite books, even when no one asks.
And he'd invite reporters. And really, 50 of the major reporters from the New York Times, the New York Herald, Time Magazine, all these people would come and sit at his feet for like 5 hours as the great man would ramble on, 90% of the time about gibberish, and 10% of the time about something, oh my God, you know.
9. You tell long stories. Long-winded stories can sink any first impression. If you ramble on for 20 minutes, people are going to lose interest. They're going to wonder why you're talking so much about yourself. Keep your stories brief and punchy. That way, you can get your point across without boring the other person.
Dream on. To continue dreaming, often sarcastic when something is unrealistic. You think you can finish all this work in 1 hour? Dream on. He told me I could become a millionaire by next year. I told him to dream on. You think they'll win the championship without practicing? Dream on.
Fittingly, for its December release, this whiskey was slightly reminiscent of peanut brittle, along with notes of baking spices, caramel, chocolate brownies, cinnamon, honey, oak, pepper, and vanilla. Sounds like a tasty, if pricey, holiday treat. If you want a high-quality bourbon at a brown paper bag price, well, dream on. If you can pony up about $30 a bottle, though, then Elijah Craig Small Batch is the bourbon for you.
Draft day was a success. It's currently 1:15 in the morning. I'm gonna knock out and go to bed. It has been a pleasure. Go dream on. Moving to ATL.
Keep on doing something. To continue without stopping. If you keep on practicing, you'll get better in no time. She kept on asking me the same question, even though I already answered. He keeps on talking about his new car.
And as this new generation of veterans joins your ranks, we've got to keep on stepping up our game, giving veterans the resources you need, transforming the VA, delivering the health care you've earned.
These are just a few of my YouTube besties that leave comments and continue to show up and support the channel and encourage me to keep on shooting videos. Thank you to each of you.
Move on from something. To leave a situation and focus on something else. After the breakup, she needed time to move on from the relationship. It's time to move on from that mistake and focus on the future. He finally moved on from the company after being there for 10 years.
My advice to you, and of course you do what you want, but if you were one of my coaching clients, what I'd be saying to you right now, which most guys don't want to hear, is I would just move on from this girl altogether. The idea of chasing one girl, it reinforces bad habits and the incorrect mindsets inside of you.
There is discussion about that going on in the judiciary committees. And so that's true too. And before we move on from that subject, I want to mention that we're also looking at another end of the spectrum, and that's children's treatments as well.
Move on to something. To progress to a new situation. Let's move on to the next topic before we run out of time. After finishing the project, the team moved on to a bigger challenge. She moved on to a new career in marketing after working in sales for years.
I don't want to scare any of you guys. It's never too late to start investing. The best time to start is now if you can. So let's move on to when you should start investing. Like I mentioned, it's great to start as soon as you can because you want to reap the benefits of time so that you allow your interest to grow.
I basically just Bart Simpson style, write them as many times as I can across the page and then move on to the next one as I go down. The priming, the goals, the affirmations, the morning pages, this is like the core amount of time that I put toward mindfulness, and it helps me so much to feel balanced every day.